been 16 or 17 years. And I remember the first time that I had an opportunity to give a speech. It might have been in Paris, it might have been somewhere else, I don't remember, where I got a chance to speak to the people of Ashraf. Now, I didn't know who they were then, and I've come to know them really well now. And I'd like to address my comments, of course, to you, but also to them. I address it to them because they've been through the worst of it. You know, I think of the great victories that Madame Rajavi has had, and then the terrible tragedies that she's had to live through, at least during the time that I've been with you. So I think about the nights when we didn't know how many people they were going to kill in Ashraf. And then when we agreed to move from, when we agreed to move the facility because we thought that would expedite getting them out of Iraq, where they were, where, as I described it then, they were in a killing field. Anytime the Quds Force wanted to come in and have target practice, they would come in and they would kill these wonderful heroes. 2, 3, 10, 12, 1. We thought it would be safer if we moved them toward the capital. And we did, and all of a sudden, there was less defense there. And we had murders there, too. And I can remember being with Madame Rajavi, and when she had to make these decisions where there was no right decision. If you move, it may be better, maybe worse. We may have more people dead. So many people have died already. People shouldn't have to make those decisions. Those are decisions that happen because we live in an amoral world, because we live in a world in which we allow monsters to take advantage of good people. And make no mistake about it, oh my goodness, we've had some terrible monsters, right? We have them right now in the world. But it doesn't get much worse than the reign of terror in Iran over the last 40 years. Hard for me to think of another country, maybe China, that's killed more of its own people. That's a heck of a country that kills its own people. Usually when wars take place, it's one country against another country, probably seeking something, wanting something, maybe fair, maybe unfair, but they're not killing their own people. Between this Ayatollah and the last one, the amount of blood on their hands is massive, 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 massive. But I say to the people of Ashraf, it's just a little longer. It really is. I really do believe it's just a little longer. I can feel it. Everything is in the right place. The country that's Iran, which is really the reign of terror, is on its last legs. Unfortunately and tragically, the corrupt media and the corrupt politicians in this world won't tell you that. For reasons I still don't understand, they cover for them, they lie for them. I know. I spent a great deal of time in the Reagan administration working on Russian intelligence, counterintelligence. I know the Russian intelligence system. I dream about it sometimes. The things I'm supposed to forget about, I dream about. And Madame Rajavi has had to live through the ups and the downs, the ridiculous putting of this organization on the terrorist list by Bill Clinton, because Bill Clinton was a massive weakling and a coward. You get that? What, in the name of heaven, could possess you to think you should appease the Ayatollah? By that time, he had held our citizens hostages and tortured them, Americans. He had killed hundreds of Marines, United States Marines. My view of it is when you kill United States Marines, you don't get to live anymore. It's over. In order to make sure you don't kill any other United States Marines. But we just sat by, and I don't know why we let him get away with this. I don't know why my country let him get away with this. I don't know why Europe let him get away with this. I do not understand the fawning and the obeisance to this monster. He should have been thrown out a long time ago. He's thrown out people that were not nearly as bad as this guy. But there's something very sick going on here. I think we're at the end of it. I pray that we're at the end of it. And believe me, it's going to be a long road from here to there. But you're going to get there. The MEK is going to get there. Madam Rajvi is going to get there. Because you're the only ones. Because you're the only ones who have had the courage to stay with it all these years. You haven't backed off. You haven't looked the other way. You haven't taken a few years off. When they were taking people from Ashraf and saying, we'll let you out, we'll let you go home, just tell us about the terrorists inside. Name a couple. People in Ashraf told them to go to hell. Which is where they are going to go, by the way. Boy, that's courage. If you can't admire courage, you can't admire anything. There's something wrong with you. So, it looked like they were accomplishing the Islamic Republic of Iran. They had half of Iraq. We got Iraq back. At one time, they had all of Iraq. They had half of Iraq. They had all of Syria. They had the Houthis killing for them. Very fierce, fierce terrorists. They had Hezbollah, who couldn't be defeated. I don't even think they exist anymore. You go to Lebanon and ask somebody, are you with Hezbollah? No. I don't know Hezbollah. I've never been with Hezbollah. Please, no. That was the force that was going to defeat Israel and America. I think they surrendered 2 days before the shooting started. They weren't doing that. Iran was doing that. Iran was directing it. Iran was paying for it. Iran was using the money that Obama and Biden gave him to do it. How about cash? Well, how about cash? Obama sent them cash. I used to be a prosecutor. You know who you send cash to? Drug dealers, organized criminals, and terrorists. Take your pick. What's he doing walking around like a billionaire? After sending money to terrorists, the money used to kill Americans. That's when Soleimani was still alive. That's when that American cash went to Soleimani. So we have family after family after family in America without their son and without their daughter because of the Quds Force. Why are we delayed? Man, I'd have done it 10 years ago. And then after the great work that Israel did in showing what a paper tiger they are, because they were too deep in the ground. Like hell, they were too deep in the ground. Not if you hit them with 30,000-pound bombs 12 times. You get to China if you do that. So now the place is open. The president gave him a ceasefire for 50 days. His response to that, the Ayatollah, the monster, was to have a celebration in the streets of Tehran. And what they chanted? After the president, who, unless you're out of your mind, you realize has the power to completely destroy you. What he just did to you was one night. And by the way, you don't even defend yourself. They didn't even shoot a gun up. That probably was the largest air attack without an answer in the history of air warfare, which tells you their defenses are down, they're gone. Israel took them out. Gone. They can't defend themselves. So now you have a celebration, and what does the Ayatollah do? He says, okay, death to Israel. Okay, he always says that. Then he says, death to the MEK. Well, he always says that too. Now, here's the country that just about came this close to destroying him, probably could have killed him if they wanted to. And he says, death to America. It got to be crazy. And now he won't negotiate. And he's got 50 days, which the president said was going to be shortened. So I don't know what's going to happen, because I don't predict things like that until the day it happens. The day that the president sent the bombers over, I woke up in the morning, I saw his face as he got on the airplane heading back to Washington, and I said to Dr. Maria, he's going to bomb today. Because I know Donald Trump for 40 years, and you just push him so far. He's a man of peace. He wants peace. He doesn't want to be involved in war unless he absolutely has to be. And he has given the Ayatollah all the string that he needs to choke himself, which he has done. Now the question becomes, there'll be some more of that. There'll be some more destruction. What's the practicality of overthrowing this guy? How do you get him out? Well, from what I think the MEK can tell you, because they've done something that's very important. They haven't just sat in Paris and even in Albania. They're very well represented inside of Iran. So we have the Crown Prince who's come along. I didn't even know there was a Crown Prince. No. I remember reading a biography. I remember reading a biography of the second Shah. And the biographer, I'll simplify it, said the first Shah was probably crueler, but he was very smart and very conniving and very tough and very decisive. But the problem with the second Shah was there was a diminution of the gene pool. And the second Shah, the one that ran away, couldn't make up his mind. When the British government and the CIA wanted to bring him back, he wasn't sure he was going to come back. If it wasn't for them, he probably would have gone off to the south of France and lived like a degenerate millionaire, billionaire. Now we get to the third Shah, I don't even think there's a gene pool anymore. I mean, this guy, what has this guy done to qualify to run New York City? Well, you can't imagine who we have running in New York City. This guy shouldn't be running a sanitation company. I mean, he never worked. Never worked in his life. He's the son of privilege. He's the son. He's the son of a mass murderer, and he's lived off your money all his life. Where the hell do you think he and his fancy mother got all the money to live like they're billionaires? Working? No, they stole it from you. And all these years, you've been struggling. All these years, you've had people in and out of camps being shot, 20 shot, 30 shot, 1,000 shot, 20,000 killed. Having to stand up to them, not knowing whether you were going to live, being threatened by them. How about when they were going to come and kill us at the New Year's Eve celebration, the New Year's celebration in Ashraf 3. As soon as we put up Ashraf 3, first thing those people wanted to do was kill us. I mean, that's who we're dealing with. So, I didn't see the Crown Prince come and help. I didn't see him come to the events after there were the threats of death. I didn't see him come to an event after France, when they wanted to kill us in France. They wanted to blow up 1,000 people in France, just 3 months later. I didn't see the Crown Prince show up and say, yeah, if people are going to die, I'm going to die with them, damn it. Yeah, right. He's done nothing. He has nothing. I believe it is possible I believe, like several English parliamentarians expressed the other day, given all the contact he has with the Revolutionary Guard, there are two things that come out of that. One is, it's possible he's a shut-up by them. He's working for them, not you. But number two, that could very well be a crime. You're not allowed to deal with the Revolutionary Guard. They're a terrorist group. So, I'm gonna ask here formally, and then I'm gonna put it in a letter, that the Federal Bureau of Investigation put him under investigation, because it may be those contacts that he bragged about with the Revolutionary Guard were very innocent. I mean, the Revolutionary Guard, after all, are really nice people. Call them up, maybe talk about baseball games, or it could be that like we feel he's a traitor to you and to Iran. Anybody that could have lived off your money for that many years while you were starving is a traitor, not a king. So, my friends in Ashraf, because of Madam Rajavi, because of the people around her here, and mostly because of you, I know the sacrifices you've made have to live with you every night, your friends that you lost, and how close you came. And who knows, we still face danger. But it was worth it, because you're going to do something that human beings, if they get to do it, should feel blessed. You're going to bring freedom to Iran. You're going to bring freedom and bring back the Persian Empire, but an empire of democracy, freedom, love, with all of the great contributions that you've made and the ones that you can in the future. God bless you.